options. Alright. Are we good? Are we good? Okay, mic was not plugged in for a second. Very unprofessional of me. I know. And I forgot why it was even unplugged to begin with. Okay, we're good now. We are good, I hope. Alright. Alright, we're good. So, alright. For all those who are watching, I'm going to go ahead and, I want to share the stream really quick. Hang on. Before I begin, let me go ahead and share my stupid stream that no one's going to like. Because I'm stupid. How do I do that, by the way? I did that once before, didn't I? Yeah, but... Does it even show that I'm streaming? Alright, here's an idea. Damn it. Am I live? Okay. Let's see, where am I? I'm trying to find... You see, I'm still very new at streaming. Kind of right at the moment. So I'm trying to figure everything out. Still am. No one's fucking helped me, son of a bitch. Anyway, moving on. Smooth stroke. Let's rise these up. At least get them ready. Get a new layer in. Okay. Let me go ahead and see if I can share the stream on at least Twitter or something like that. It's not even saying I'm fucking live on my phone. No! Oh, wait! Yes! Alright, here we go. Stop, okay, stop phone. Stop! Oh my god! Knock it off! Okay, there we go. Streaming with Alice Art. Come join if you want. Silly face. Copy. There's like a delay because of my phone. Alright, what the... Alright, now to do like a fucking silly announcement video. Alright, here we go. Silly announcement video, here I come. Flip the camera around. Good evening, everyone. I am currently streaming with Arts trying to draw this beautiful gal. Come join me in the comments below because there's a link to the stream down below. Join me, please. Also, if there are any issues with the stream, please tell me in the chat. I've done this multiple times since no one has told me if everything is okay or not. I gotta shave. Not right now. Alright, here we go. I'm a silly boy. Now, someone started following me on Instagram. I love zombie hugs. Thank you. I've never had a zombie hug, so I would not know. Alright. Now we are currently streaming. Good. Now, one more thing. I want to go ahead and make sure that I'm reading the chat in real time. Okay, live chat. It's doing some weird thing. Okay, we're good. Okay, we're good. Alright. So, what I'm doing here is that I'm currently making the digital version of the Alice Darksin image. This is the Alice's official design for the series Alice Darksin. Oops. And I'm going to go ahead and make sure it is perfect. I'm going to digitalize it. Originally the image was a bit small, a bit different in a sense that Alice's hips were less wide. Someone suggested to me Kingdom of Monsters on Twitter suggested that I make Alice's hips wider since she is a bit more buff. It would affect her legs and her hips more, so I did it, and I like the results. She is what the internet would call thick. Which was kind of the idea. Like, at the very beginning when I first created Alice, I've always thought of her as sort of a thickish character. Now, let's see. No, I gotta change the color first. Oh, by the way, I finally got new nibs for my stylus. So, okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and change size. What I do is that at first I create a thick outline and I create a thick outline first. Now, it doesn't have to be perfect when it comes to... Okay, well, it kind of does, but you know what I mean, right? It doesn't have to be pixel perfect. It doesn't have to be super astounding. Essentially, the idea here is just to get, like, a thick line going. Now, these lines might be a bit thin. So, what I'm going to do maybe is probably rise the size up to 20. Is that good? Much better. Now, are these right? Okay, yeah. For a second, I thought they were a little off. Now, zoom back into 100. Now, lines are meant to be thick to give off sort of an early 2000s-like vibe. So, now I'm going to go and check OBS again because OBS sometimes makes it so that my mic just randomly stops and I have to reset it up. So, I'm glad it's working the way it is now. Now, this might be too thick, right? For a line, not her. She is thick enough. Anyway. Now, this might be much better. So, what we're going to do, I'm going to be steady as possible. My hands can sometimes be a little shaky, especially when I try to be precise. And so, you're wondering, like, if, are you trying to draw the entire chest? Nope, this is just the literal outline for the whole thing. So, you're probably wondering if that's the case. Why did I go through her hair? Well, I'm going to show you in a second. Smooth stroke. And before that, I'm going to go ahead and start the rest of her hair. So, you see this, right? You see, like, the little issue here? Just near. Essentially, what I do is I try to smooth it out to make sure that it is okay, to make sure that it's, like, pretty much the exact thing that I need it to be. And sometimes I like to give, like, thicker lines in the sense where it's, like, a little rounded out here. I really am going for sort of, like, an old Newgrounds sort of aesthetic, early 2000s nonsense. That's what I'm really going for. Now, I realize that, like, not a lot of people watch my streams. I don't know if it's something that I'm doing, or if there is an issue entirely that I'm not aware of. Maybe people just aren't coming, or maybe it's just, like, it's, like, something about streams I don't know about. There might be issues and whatnot. I don't know. That's why I constantly ask. And I know I probably sound like really annoying when I constantly ask, like, hey, is the stream okay? But it's just I'm getting no feedback on that. And it sometimes makes it so that I don't want to do these videos because I'm not getting the feedback necessary to know if they're working. And I want to do these videos because they're sort of like my ambitious way of trying to make it so I draw more often. Also, I'm not going to be drawing for too long. A Nintendo Direct is coming today. And I know it's still like a few hours off. But I live in Texas, so it comes on at 5 p.m. for Eastern time. And for me, that time is 4 o'clock, since where I live in Texas at least, I'm 1 hour off. So, and who knows, I might even end early. The stream could just be me drawing the new design of Alice. Making sure that everything is all right, fine and dandy. Yeah, making sure that everything is good. Also, for those who are watching, which I don't know if there are any right now, let me check. I'm not talking very much because I'm trying to concentrate, and it's hard for me to talk and do this at the same time. If there's one issue I have with drawing digitally, it's I'm not used to it. I feel like my traditional art is so much better, and that's what I want to work on. I want to work on digital art. Who knows, maybe during the stream, if I feel like I could, I would probably, like, go ahead and probably try and do some poses and whatnot. Not maybe specifically with Alice, but just testing with poses in general. Because it's going to be a very action-oriented webcomic. So there's going to be a lot of, like, poses and whatnot. Not like JoJo poses. I mean, Alice probably do JoJo poses fine. She'd probably do them fantastically. But what I'm trying to say is that I'm trying to do action poses so I can practice with things like perspective and do characters in more than just one pose where they're just kind of standing. Because you can't, when you're doing a webcomic, you can't just rely on just standing poses, especially if you're doing action stuff. If you're doing like a comedy thing, like one of those relatable webcomics, which a lot of people seem to have like huge issues with those. Personally, I don't. A lot of them are fine for what they are. I like them. I could tell they're not for everyone, though. But at the same time, it's just like some people really overreact. It's like they don't like something, that must mean it's bad. I don't know about that. Now, the only other issue I have with my art is that I'm kind of struggling to see how thick do I want the outside lines to be and how thin should the inner lines be. Oh, sorry. I almost burped there. I just had McDonald's. I should be exercising to work it off, but fuck it. I want to work on Alice Darksin. Okay, so a bit of an announcement. I might announce it in its own video later on. But after March starts, or after February, I should say, I'm going to go ahead and lessen like the amount of content that I'm making on YouTube. Not because I don't like YouTube. I mean, yeah, I rant about like the current age of YouTube a lot on Twitter. It's probably obnoxious to a lot of people, and I'm sorry. I just get really fumed very easily when it comes to a lot of the stuff that I see that like drives me nuts. I probably shouldn't even have a Twitter in that sense. I'm going to say something I regret one day. But anyway, what I'm trying to say is that I want to focus more on my art and exploring other avenues. I was originally going to go to college for arts, but the problem came in that like I realized that many art majors in college are pretty much just like, oh hey, just draw this thing, and we're going to do some random sculpting. And it's just like, but I want to learn how to draw so I can do comics and whatnot, not just generally art. So I realized that, like, I'm already teaching myself art, and I don't want to toot my own horn. I think my art's pretty alright for what it is. The only thing I really want to learn is perspective and shading and backgrounds, which I'm working on those too. So, let me go ahead and see. Yep, we're good. We're still good. You keep me. But anyway, moving on to what I was saying, before I just completely lost my mind. Oh, whoops. I want to go to something that I know nothing about, so I think I'm going to try game development because I've always wanted to do games. I've had ideas for games for a while, but I've never been able to start because I know nothing about that field, and I want to learn about that field before I really start. I went, hey phone, knock it off, you little twit. I'm going to hit you. Though I'm going to hit you. Oh yeah, shit. Probably going to need to... There we go, much better. No, not too much. There we go. Oh, no, I'm not just basically tracing this image. There are going to be some changes. Like, I want to make some changes to her face. Not the design, just more or less this image in particular. Now, one thing you may realize is that when I do these outer lines, I sometimes let them go in for a little bit, and that's simply because, like, things like Alice's curve of her muscles and have a natural flow, essentially. Now, I heard, like, Robo Buddies completely stopped making videos because she wanted to focus on stuff like art and other stuff. And to me, I think that's very admirable. I see a lot of people, like, essentially become corrupted by the desire of YouTube to the point where they think that's all they have to do. If they don't do YouTube, then what are they? And it's just like, even if they have another avenue to fill, they still have that ideology where they only have to do YouTube. And to me, that's very foolish. You need to keep other avenues open, even if you're still going to continue making videos, and even if it's your main source of income. To anyone who wants to become a content creator, that's my biggest advice. Just go ahead and make sure that you're not solely relying on just YouTube. Make sure you're doing other things, and make sure you're doing something that you love and enjoy, because I see like so many people be afraid to do certain things because you know how the internet can be. The internet can be vicious, but you know what? If people have a problem with the stuff that you do, that's their issue. As long as you're not hurting anyone in the process, then you can do and be whatever you want. That's my advice. So basically, do something that you want to do for fun and leave other avenues open for not just videos. That's what I'm doing right here. I'm using streams as a way to like create Alice Darksin. Right now, I'm in the pre-production phase of Alice Darksin. I'm planning everything out, and essentially, I do have the majority of the. Oh my God, what the hell's going on? Don't tell me this nib's already fucking. God damn it. Anyway, the story of Alice Darksin's being planned. I do have the majority of it planned, and I have the entire summary of, like, the entire story planned in my head. But when it comes to, like, Alice Darksin in general, I still want to go ahead and plan everything out. I still want to make sure that I am absolutely 100% prepared, because I tried to just jump on creating Alice Darksin once before, and it resulted in the 2017 version. Was it 2017? Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was. That was mainly just not that good visually. I think it had a lot of good things about it and a lot of potential, but at the same time, I wanted to go for more of a digital route, and that's why I kind of stopped doing that version. That version's most likely not going to be that different. I mean, it does have a few changes that I've made to the story, but overall, this version of Alice Darksin, it's most likely going to begin the same way too. Now let's see how it goes so far. Alright, we're good, we're good. Alrighty. Now. And I don't want to sit down for too long, that's another thing. Sitting down for a while is fine, but I'm trying to watch my weight. Because over, like, the past year I've become quite a chunky boy. But I've told myself, like, I can still sit around sometimes and work on stuff like this. Unless it gets to, like, a really bad point, like, I'm at 200 pounds. Right now, I'm, like, in 190, around that area, which is still kind of a dangerous place to be. But it's definitely much better than, like... I told myself, if I ever hit that magical 200 number with my natural weight, then I will definitely go ahead and start taking extra precautions so that I can have a healthier lifestyle and don't become, like, this huge guy living in his mom's basement and playing World of Warcraft. Not that I have anything against World of Warcraft. Or the people who play it either. I'm always afraid to make those kind of jokes because I know at least one person's going to take me seriously and be like, oh, are you saying that everyone who plays World of Warcraft is like that? Gosh! And especially since I play a League, so I think people might take it a little too seriously, since Blizzard also has their game called Heroes of the Storm, which is also a MOBA, and a lot of people are like, oh, it's just a ripoff of League. It's like, come on, can't we just let genres expand? I've already been through this with the platform fighting genre, and people are like, oh, it's just a Smash ripoff, blah, blah, blah. Just to let genres expand, you know? I don't care how similar certain things are to one another. The only time I'll ever consider something a true knockoff is if it does absolutely nothing different. That's why I don't count, a lot of people disagree with me on this, and that's fine. I don't count PlayStation All-Stars as a Smash ripoff, because it actually tried something different with the meters. Granted, it didn't turn out that well, but at the same time, I put in the effort. I'm glad they put in the effort to try something different. A lot of people still just say, oh, it's a Smash knockoff, it's exactly the same, but those same people will be like, oh, the game didn't do that well because it's, the game didn't do that well because it should have been more like Smash. It should have had the percentages. It's just like, Really, people? You're going to shame the game for being similar, and then you're going to go ahead and say it should have been even more similar. Like, seriously? It just seems like people don't want Smash to be taken off its throne. Or, like, any sense of competition at all. They just want to live in this little bubble where Smash is the only platform fighter that exists. I've actually wanted to create my own platform fighter for a while, and that's one of the reasons why I want to go to school for game development. I'm not going to say what it would be about because that's very spoilery, and I don't want anyone to take the idea that I have. Because I think it's a very neat idea. I think it's a very rad one. But that's exactly why I don't want to talk about it just yet. Because I know, like, with the wrong people, they could be like, oh, that's my idea now, I'm taking it. And it could essentially be like, well, shit, now I gotta do something else because someone took the idea that I made. And I can't prove that they, like, stole the idea. And because, yeah, it's the same idea, but how can I prove that, like, oh, they saw the stream and heard me talk about it? You know what I mean? I'm sure someone's going to come up with the idea that I have because I think it's a pretty genius idea. I think it's going to happen one day, one way or another. Alright, and with this, I think the silhouettes is done. Just going to actually... Ba-boom! Yes! Ba-boom indeed! Check out my boombas. Alright, there's the silhouette. Get rid of the image, and now you essentially just see the silhouette of Alice right here. Essentially, it sort of feels like a character reveal, like, challenger approaching. There are some issues here and there, like I see this little part, but I think that's only because, yeah, that's the part where, like, her hand and her fingers don't meet her wrist. This part is because of her hair, and I'm going to make it look better with the next line. Alright, so basically what I do next is that you see, where is it? Ah, here we are. You see 15, right? So I'm going to have to lower this down to at least 5, right? Yeah, 5 seems like a good number. No, wait, 7. I try to make it at least half. So the second layer is going to be dedicated to going into the ironing out the inner details. So let's start with her legs. Let's start with her thighs and whatnot. Now, for a while, I actually didn't want to have Alice have her stomach exposed constantly. I thought it was too fan-servicey for a while. But then I realized I was limiting Alice Darksin based on what the internet would probably be like. Oh, wow, it's such an amazing story. And, like, Alice Darksin was going to have sort of an Adventure Time-like story. What I mean that is that, like, it was going to be like, oh, it's going to seem like it's one thing, but then evolve into something else. And it's just like, that's not the stuff I do, though. Like, I love those kind of stories, don't get me wrong. But I don't want to change the things I make just so people can be impressed by them. I want to make things that I would enjoy. And that's what I'm doing now. It's like Alice Darksin is more or less nowadays about the violence. Like, it's edgy, it's nonsensical sometimes. But I think that's why I like the idea so much. It's Alice being Alice. It's not like, oh, it's basically Adventure Time with a fucking goth girl. And I'm sure many people will probably love that. The internet and their goth girls. You know, the mean big titty goth girl? Yep. Y'all fucking do that ironically. I've been doing that ironically for God knows how long. Call me Rebel Taxi, because I love goth girls. Whoa! Alright. There we go. Nice. Nice. That's the thing, I want to get better at line work. Because I know it's something that, oh no, my phone, it went vibrate. Oh no, I gotta turn it back on and shit. Oh no. Oh, someone retweeted. Thank you, Joanna, for retweeting my stream thingy. You're fucking beautiful. Alright, so I might do more than one layer. Now you're probably thinking, since there's a belt piece, why am I doing that? Well, I'll show you why in a second. There's a little trick that I do. It's not really a trick. I'm pretty sure like every artist who has a digital software has multiple layers do it all the fucking time. Oh. Oh shit, I forgot to save. Holy crap. Alice thick. I respect women. Alright, so what I'm going to do now is create a second layer. And this is going to go over here. Over yonder. And of course, I'm going to go ahead and just shave it out. Shave it out, shave it out. Too much, too much, too much. Shave it out, shave it out. Shave it out. Shave it out, shave it out. Come on now. Now just imagine, I'm going to have to draw this constantly for the God knows how many months or even years of my life. I just want to play golf. It's worth it though. Atlas Darksin is something I consider to be like my magnum opus. Alright, I'm gonna have to zoom out, I guess. Alrighty. What I'm trying to do is trying to make the line of our pants. Feels weird saying the word pants. I know it sounds stupid, but I don't know, it just sounds weird to me. Pants. Pants. Pantaloons. There we go, now it feels less weird. I'm drawing your pantaloons, Alice. Well, silly. God damn it. I had to zoom back in again. Do. There we go. Belt buckle looks a bit off. Let's go ahead and make some arrangements. Or maybe a better idea, I can use that as a base and make it more even this way. Aha! Learn from your past mistakes. When I mean that, I mean literally use it as a base. And the lines are a little wobbly. But that's what I'm trying to aim for here. I'm trying to aim for, like, imperfections. Alright, there we go. And this is our zipper line. Zoop. Zoop. A little much. Alright. Yes. Okay. Alrighty, let's see how it looks so far. We start with her legs, so there's still a lot to do with the rest of her. So, okay. Let's go ahead and remove this. It's alright so far. Alright. I don't really see too many issues or problems. I do see a few. I gotta go back. I'm gonna go ahead. Oh. Alright, just had to reset my phone so I can, like, see the chat again. Unless there's chat going on here. There's no chat. There is no chat. And no one's watching. Oh, shit. Well, I'm just talking to myself. Wouldn't be the first time. These streams still get me productive, even though I'm basically just talking to myself. I think of it as just like a regular Let's Draw video. Which I would do those with these, but it's gonna take forever to fucking process those. Oh my god. I just finished the Mega Man 2 complete version of the Red Room Let's Play, which is like almost an hour long of the whole thing. And it took me all day to process it. So imagine this kind of video. I'm gonna do Alice's the little belly button. It's so fucking precious. No, I shaved too much off. More like there's not a lot, but let's go ahead and fix that. Nope, too much. Nope, too low. Ah, for God's sake. Oh, I hit the Z like 1 millisecond before I hit the control. Fine, Jesus, there. Yeah, finally. Holding Control Z is basically the life of a fucking digital artist, isn't it? I'm still kind of a noob, so I'm not 100% sure on that, but I'm 90% sure on that. Now, a lot of people always ask, like, Zach, why do you say that about yourself? Why do you always, like, put yourself down or say stuff like that? I'm not putting myself down. I just don't want to seem like that kind of person who's, like, really self-righteous. I don't want to be like an asshole and just be like, hey, look at me, I'm better than everyone. Look at me, I act like I know so much. I just don't want to give off that kind of attitude with me and my content. I want to seem like someone who's aware of the fact that I don't know everything. Yeah, I just don't want to come off as that kind of guy or just like, look at me and how great I am. Hello! Jesus, scared the fuck out of me. Guess better look at whatever that is when I get the chance, huh? Right now, I am working. I think it was a reply to a comment. I commented on Oni Plays video where they were talking about, like, art sites, and I mentioned how, like, DeviantArt isn't as bad as people make it out to be. People make it out to be like this place where it's just like, oh, it's only finished content. It's terrible and awful. Keep your kids safe. Don't go to DeviantArt. But it's just like, really? Grow up. When I was, this is why I say the old days of the internet were better. People weren't just gonna be like, they act like that sites were terrible just because of that kind of stuff, you know? They understood that the internet was weird, and it's still weird, and it should be. If you want the content to be normal, watch TV. That's my advice for you. I don't want to head into a full rant because I get heated when it comes to that sort of stuff, and I don't want to come off as an angry individual during these streams, so I'm going to go ahead and keep myself fucking calm. I'm just going to say this, DeviantArt is not as bad as people make it out to be. It's actually a great site. I've had a lot of great moments on DeviantArt. I can't really think of many bad ones that affected me. Alright, now this is where I'm going to go ahead and sort of show that Alice's hand is not really... It's not actually this stubby. It's meant to... This is meant to be like a perspective trick where it's like showing that her hand is kind of bent forward. So the leather on her gloves are kind of reacting to that. So I better do that with this too. There we go. That reminds me, when it comes to DeviantArt, I should probably get core on DeviantArt and change my name to Cackling Pumpkins, because it's still Hotel Room 103 on that site. It's one of the only places that I still don't have the name Cackling Pumpkins, minus Twitter. That's because it's sort of like Tug has taken over until Talking Friends Where's My Valentine is released. I'm sort of using him as a way to like be like, hey guys, check out this shit. Not really a marketing ploy, I wouldn't say that, but I kind of like it when... I know a lot of people have problems when the companies try to be like, hey, here, we're going to be goofy, whatnot, with our Twitter. It's like, I don't have a problem with that. It's like, really? You're going to get mad at that? All things to get mad at in this world? That's the thing. I think people are just lining up to be mad because I think it makes them... They think it makes them interesting. They think that being cynical makes them cool or something. And it's just like, no, it's obnoxious when people do that. No one wants to be around a person who's constantly cynical all the time. Alrighty. Let's do the other arm before I go ahead and start drawing her sports bra and her breasts. Oops. Now, a lot of people are probably screaming at their chairs like actual artists are looking at me and be like, what are you doing, you fucking idiot? Why are you using an airbrush too? Use the fucking... What are you doing? You don't need to do that. Do you have something that's pressure sensitive? No, I don't. I'm poor. Can I sit here? No. But I'm poor. Die! You see that fucking... OnionG, or, yeah, that's him. He released a video of like an old clip. He released a clip of an old video he made a long time ago on like a 3D thing of like Harry Potter, and the only clip was that like Ron comes in and says, "Can I come in here?" And Harry says, "No, but I'm poor. Die!" It would have been very akin to like the old days of the internet, like honestly, with how it was. And I probably would have loved it as a kid because I love that kind of stuff. Uh. Oh yeah, yeah. That's the other. Those are the other fingers. It's like they're curling inward because. I don't know, I don't know how that works. Now I got myself all confused about my own image. Let's just go ahead and see how it is. What am I doing, honestly? It's probably the worst thing I'm doing. Like, really? That's not how you fucking do hands. Probably, but I'm experimenting with a few things right now. A few things not even I understand right now. I don't get it, but I'm looking at it just going, what are you doing, you moron? Now, cleavage. Let's make this quick. Cleavage. Cleavage. You know, the thing is, if it's like when it comes to internet arguments, it's just not worth it, really. Because everyone has a one-track mind. No one ever wants to think about things from another perspective. I rarely ever see someone say, hey, you make a good point. But here, it's just like, and you're probably thinking, oh, but that's just the internet. It's just how things are. Oh, goddammit. But at the same time, it's just like, what's the point arguing with people online? It's just a big waste of time. No one wants to listen to any other point of view besides their own. So it's just like, why even try to talk or communicate with people online? I mean, it's not to say you can't. There aren't people who genuinely understand how to have a fucking conversation without being a dickhead, but it's also worth noting that her boob is a little flat here. I'm going to need to fix that. It's exactly worth noting. That's what you should remember whenever you talk to someone online. That one time, Alice's boob was a little flat. I'm gonna get off this topic. How long has it been? It's already 1:30. Holy freaking crap. Holy crap, Lois. 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 Peter. Peter, I'm the handicapped guy. I also was able to get my legs back, but then because I just didn't want to hang out with you anymore, you decided to go ahead and make me handicapped again, because that's a good moral, I guess. If you don't want to hang out with your friends because you got your legs back, well, guess who's got to be handicapped again? And that's a weird thing about Family Guy. It's like maybe Seth MacFarlane's trying to be like, oh, I'm going to be ahead of my time and be like revolutionary about like my messages and shit. It's just like, no. A lot of the messages he quote unquote gives are very counterintuitive. Like, if you're being abused, you're not a real woman. It's like, what the fuck was that supposed to mean? Oh, I'm sorry, Sandra, you're crying because Billy hit you? And you're not a real woman. I feel like in that context, he was trying to, like, you know, he was trying to be ahead of his time, but that's not the way you do it. And that's the risk that comes with, like, trying to give a new understanding to, like, a different topic or a new point of view. Or maybe it's just he was talking out of his ass and he just didn't know how to, I don't know. It just seems very odd. The worst has to be that one episode where everyone was, the Griffin house was stuck in to a hurricane. I forgot the episode's name. It has like a weird name that has nothing to do with the actual topic. And basically what happens is that Meg finally stands up for herself, but then she turns around 2 seconds later and says, you know what? I have to be abused by my fucking family. It's just like, what? Don't tell that to people, Seth! Is that where things work? Not by a long shot. How the hell? Like, okay, Sarah. Sorry your dad hit you, but he'd be sad if he couldn't hit you. It's like, you gotta be hated by your entire family to make him happy. That's not the ideology. It's like an abusive parent ideology. Like, I brought you into this world kind of thing. It's like, son of a bitch. Now, with Alice's smile, I do kind of want to go for something a little bigger. You know what? Let's do her mouth last. Let's do her face last entirely. But he's just like, what the hell is Seth MacFarlane thinking half the time? I really just think that he wants out of his contract. I really think. Because there are times where Seth MacFarlane has said, where it's like, I don't know why they didn't just cancel the show. I genuinely believe that he just wants it to end. Now, I'm going to say this right now. I feel like the problem with Family Guy is that it tried way too hard to start being this edgy thing where it's like, oh, look at this shocking thing that we're doing. But the thing is, that doesn't work because that's not how Family Guy started. Now, it works better for American Dad because American Dad was actually born into that. I think American Dad is a much better show because it didn't start off as one thing and try to change to keep its audience. It just stuck the same way all the way through. And yeah, it has its bad episodes. I'm not going to say it's perfect. It does have issues. But at the same time, I think the issues of American Dad are much smaller in comparison to Family Guy. And I think it's because Family Guy was forced to go on for this long. Okay, it's just like... Or maybe just writing styles change. Just like Seth MacFarlane doesn't want to do like happy family stories anymore. Because that's how Family Guy kind of started. It was seen as like this kind of edgy thing that was eerily similar to The Simpsons. So I guess Seth MacFarlane needed to separate itself. And I guess Seth MacFarlane thought that like this edgy humor would probably be the best way to do it. And why didn't I draw these parts of Alice's chest when I had the chance? Just one eye? Alright, and besides her face, I don't know if I'm missing anything. Let me check really quick. Let's zoom out all the way. 50. Let's see. It really seems like the only thing that's missing is her face. Okay, we're good then. Alright. Am I going to color Alice? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. I know I'm going to add like these lines to show that like her breasts are adding weight to her sports bra. Like Alice was never meant to be a busty character, but it's like I mainly chose the size of her breast based on her proportions and her height, so that it didn't seem very off or lopsided. I wanted Alice's design to, you know, sort of be equal. So her breasts, I guess, have to be big in a sense. I know a lot of people are going to disagree with me on that, and that's fine. You're not obligated to agree with me on all that kind of stuff. You're allowed to say your own opinion. This is just my way of doing things. I'm not saying my way is inherently better, and that doesn't mean I won't change. Maybe like a new perspective. That's why I gave Alice wider hips. A Twitter user who goes by the name Kingdom of Monsters actually suggested, since Alice is going to be more muscular, would not be smarter to kind of give her like wider hips. And I thought, you know what? Why not? And that's why you saw probably, I don't know if you can see it here. I'd probably have to hang on. Let me just go ahead and fix this really quick. This. Now Alice is looking out like, yeah, look at me. But anyway, you probably see some eraser marks here in, yeah, you see like a line here. She was originally much thinner, but I decided to go ahead and give her a wider hips for that suggestion, and I think it works a lot better. Now it's time for Alice's eyebrow. Now, since I drew her hair a little differently, her eyebrows aren't going to be seen very often, primarily because of how they are, and how her hair is, so. Her eyebrows are mainly going to be, whoops. Her eyebrows are mainly going to be like this. And now it's time for a cute little smile. Give her a little happy face. A little snark. Ah, fuck! I hit that little fucking nudge on my stylus again. I was checking the stream, my phone shut down again. Alright, lower the eraser a little bit. Change size, and so it'll be a little easier to do this. Alright, let's see how this looks. Go all the way back. All the way back. Alrighty, I like it. I like it. Now, don't worry. Like 20 minutes from now, I'm going to look at it again and be like, oh god, there are like 20 different issues. But as of now, I think I really like it. This is how Alice is going to look, minus the colors. Do I want to color it really quick? Let's go ahead and live chat. I'm going to go ahead and color her in really quick. So, open. And to do this, I think what I'm looking for is in the Cackling Pumpkins file. Cackling Pumpkins. And these icons right here, yes, it's not a very good looking Alice. There's actually a point in time when she was still much thinner before I decided to give her, like, more muscle. Like, she was always muscular, I should say. But I decided to give her more depth. So, essentially, and ever since this is, like, one of the first images of Alice, I've been using it as, like, a color reference. As soon as I can find out where the fuck it is. Thank you. Alright, so what I do here is that I'm going to go ahead and... I was going to say, what the hell? Save this first. And get this tool, the color picker tool. Funny, that's what I was actually going to call. And copy this color here. And then... Oh, it's very windy outside, Jesus. Jesus, it's windy out there. Living in Texas, folks. Truly, living in a dream. And this is the color of Alice's hair. So, essentially what I do, this is very unorthodox. I don't really use my stylus for this. I mean, I can, hypothetically. What I do is this. Now, probably thinking, like, why are you going outside the lines? You will see. You will see very soon. Believe it or not, this actually makes things a lot easier. God, it looks like a mess, right? Well. Boom. And also move that out of the way. Gotta go down here. No, there was a point. It was like, oh, there it is. Thank you. Now, here's why I do this. Zoom in again to 200. You get the eraser tool, shrink her down, and use my mouse this time to essentially also make these actually it's the first time I decided to do that. I just thought, like, you know what, I probably should just go ahead and do that. Ah, shit! Shit. Come on now. So, okay, take an extra look, just make sure, like, everything's all good. Oh, you forgot about this part. Alright, boom. It's definitely much better now. Alrighty. We go over here. And here's this. There's Sports Brawl's color. Shit. Now, as you see, there's like a little bit I forgot to erase. That's okay. Just cover it up. Oh, fuck, already. There we go. I probably should just do this with my stylus. No. I'm a stickler for these kind of details, actually. Ooh, I see something, by the way. There we go, much better. Now, the image I'm taking these colors from is the first time I ever drew Alice digitally, and it's not very good. The proportions of her face are a little off. She looks a little bootlegged, I guess you could say. But I've definitely gotten better. These were made, like, God knows how long ago when I was first playing Cackling Pumpkins. So, yeah, there are going to be issues. Let's see. We got it. We're good. Alrighty. Now her corset's no longer here. I decided to remove it because of her new shape. But the only problem is now I don't have the color of her pants here. This is just a shoulder shot, just a mug shot, essentially. So I'm going to do the main colors I already have first. And oh no. Okay, I thought it broke. My computer's getting a little slow. I've had it for a very long time, so... Uh-oh. I don't know. Acrylic. That's a little acrylic, if you ask me. I meant to do like a pun and saying cryptic. Shut up. Now, why am I doing this on a separate layer underwards? Well, it's just so like I don't have to constantly worry about following the lines all the time. Alrighty. Now here I'm going to break off and go down here so I can get her fingers and stuff. I didn't put nails on her. And it's only because a lot of the characters aren't going to be drawn with nails. There's her thumb. And as you can see, I could just do this. Less worry about following the lines, I could just go at it. And it makes things super simple. She does have darker skin. I have actually thought about lightening up a little bit. I don't know how exactly. Her skin was meant to be slightly darker, not race-wise. She was meant to be sort of tannish. And that's only because she's out and about exercising a lot. I might change my mind. It's like sometimes these colors look weird on their own, but like when the whole thing's complete and everything blends together, to me it just... When you know those images where it's just like, oh, here's the image of the character and here's all the colors I use by its side, where it's just they're either in circles and squares. To me, they look a little different, like when they're in those weird positions. You know what I mean? And I did accidentally erase a little too much there. I just realized it. So let me go ahead and fix that. Go up to the next layer. Color here. And boom, boom. Alright. Also, I forgot her eyebrows are the same color as her regular eyes. So what I'm going to do is just do this real quick. Because it's not meshing with the skin color, I can easily just erase it. See, I know sort of what I'm doing. To an extent. Shut up. The thicker lines also help with coloring in a sense where I don't really have to, like... Oh, you hear that? It's a big old fucking truck. I got a big old truck. Come see from my little deck. This one I don't have to paint in because it's so small. Alright, there we go. Alrighty, so far so good, I would say. Let me just go ahead and take a look around, just in case any colors escaped. Y'all probably noticing some stuff that I'm not. I'm going to hear about it. Alright, so far so good. Oh, you know what I forgot to do? Oh, shit! Where the hell? Oh, no, where's the fucking thingy? There it is. I'm behind shit. Alright, much better. Alright, now it's time to do her gloves. I think her gloves are actually a similar skin tone as... I don't know. I know I reuse some of the tones for certain parts of her body. Or her design, I should say. Because the gloves aren't part of her body. No, just for silly. Oh, whoops. Alright, now for her face, I'm doing a completely different layer. Oh, also save. And since I already have colors here, Alice has a fang here for some reason. You know what? I've actually considered giving Alice a fang. She did in one of her earliest designs, but... for a while, I've kind of been against giving her a fang because... you know, it would work because Alice can be a biter sometimes when she fights. Alright, so here's another way about how I do, like, the separation between the eye and whatnot. Probably just thinking, oh, why not just close it up? Well, that's because that's how Alice's eye is meant to be. It's meant to be like this. So what I do is that... Oh, oops. Should size this up a bit. Is get this brush right here and just barely brush it over. Now, as you can probably tell, it's kind of hard to do that. So what I do is that I bring the white out a little further than it should be, and then erase. Right here will do. There we go. Same color, same Alice, just better face. And an actual eyebrow. Wait, how did I draw her eyebrow here? It's just it's just a line. You could tell I was early in digital, like, at that point. Like, earlier at least. I don't know how early. Now it's time for her pants. Now, since she's no longer wearing a corset, I think I'm going to use her corset's colors for her pants. Now I'm going to go ahead and make another layer. Silly, I know. This is ridiculous. So that I can have no problem in doing... I'll raise this up a little bit, bigger size, so it's easier to cover all of it. So we could essentially just... Oh, wait, oops, already fucked up. Do this. Now, these individual layers are probably going to look silly. Like, if you just go to one layer of just all the colors. Hey, you know what? I'll show you when I'm done coloring this. I'll remove the lines and see how it looks. Alright, look at that. Her pants are fabulous. Look at those. Look at those. And the thing is, we're going to go even darker for her belt. So, zoom in further. Wink. Her belt buckle is already going to be a different color as it is. I think it's going to be like a silver. Now, I did see an issue with her skin colors here. Yeah, see that little dot? Bugs the fuck out of me. So I'm going to go to her skin layer. Lower this all the way down to 1 and... Okay, raise up a little more apparently. There we go. There we go. So now, all I need is her belt. Her belt colors. Which are going to be like sort of a this and that. Yeah, that's good. No. A little lighter, And yeah, there we are. I'm going to use the mouse for this one since it's like the last thing I have to do anyway. Yeah. Boom! The whole thing should be done now. No problems whatsoever. Bam! Damn. I like that. Really do. Her face is a little off. I think it's her smile mainly. That's doing that. Cause, Hey, it's better than that. Bye-bye now. Anyway, this is it. Now, like I said, I'm going to show you what it's like without the lines. Doing. Oh, lordy, look at this mess. Oh, no. Oh, no, it made it worse. Okay, put all the lines back. Alrighty, that's Alice Darksin. Let's go ahead and put a full view. Got it back to like 25%, and bam, there she is. Strong, masculine woman. Yeah! I'm happy with what I've got. Now, there is one issue. I want to go ahead and fix something really quick. You see these lines? I forgot to do the under versions. So zoom them in. And say go all the way back down to 7. 7, I said. Solid black. And which layer is it that has these? Number 2. Okay. Alright, let me go ahead and fix those really quick. Should not take long. Oh, I'm in the blood. That's a pencil tool. Well, sometimes I go like Bill Cosby when I do this shit. I don't know why I'm the Bill Cosby. I never molested any kids. What was he in for again? I'm sorry if it seems like I'm spreading misinformation. I genuinely forgot. I know it's like something sexual, like rape or molestation, though I can't remember. It was like a sexual assault, right? I'm talking about destroying your own career. Have a little bit of self-control. Jesus. Say that now, but I'm gonna turn 60 or something. And probably be like, oh, fuck. He's definitely losing his mind. You guys see the video where he goes, hey, leaving court and shit? It's probably the most unintentional, hilarious thing that's ever happened in all Fat Albert history. There we are. Much better. I actually got a separation of her six-pack there. I'm not sure about those little lines down below. Hang on. Screw it, do it like this. Alright, that's everything. This is Alice Darksin. And she looks fantastic in my opinion. Alright, so I guess that's everything. So, thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys later. I gotta go watch that Nintendo Direct, which is coming in 2 hours for me, I think. Could have gotten that wrong. Farewell.